silence from you is like the death of a tune. Oh, I have been driven.
Barcelona. Visiting a city of 4.5 million people has an amazing effect on travelers. They love it. Seriously, mention to someone you're heading here and chances are they'll start listing places to visit and telling you how much they love the city when they were there themselves. From the renovated beachfront to the city's medieval quarter, the city has enough sights to see, places to eat, and pockets of sand to lie on to fill up an entire summer, let alone a week-long trip. Located in the heart of the Spanish autonomous region of Catalonia, Barcelona is like stepping foot in a different country. Proud of their culture and distinct history, Barcelonistas have a unique zest for life that's addicting. Though here for only a week, it only took me a few hours to discover why it's so easy to fall for this place. The story of Barcelona really begins here in Plaza Nova, at the front gates of the ancient fortress. Founded in 15 BC by the Romans, the city's original title was, wait for it, Colonia Julia Augusta Faventia Paterna Barcino, later known as Barcelona. Signs of the old city are everywhere. Here you can see the remnants of the original aqueduct. You can also see the remains of the medieval walls built to protect the city. When you're here looking at the ancient ruins, make sure to look across the plaza. Here you'll see the Architectural College, a modernist building, but outside of it is a commissioned work by Picasso. And because no good travel video from Spain would be complete without it, here you go, an epic solo guitar performance. While walking around the Gothic Quarter, keep your eyes out for these small stones placed at the corner of buildings like this one here. They were installed to protect the buildings from passing carriages. Behind me is Iglesia Santa Maria del Pi, named after the lone pine tree in the plaza. Completed in 1391, this cathedral was said to have the largest stained glass window in the world for centuries. And it wasn't just Christians that lived here in the Middle Ages. Though Barcelona was founded by the Romans, for many years the city had a large Jewish population, and it was here at this site stood the Great Synagogue, the center of the Jewish community. In the corner of the Gothic Quarter, you'll find Plaza de Rey. Now this is the old courtyard of the King's Palace, and it was here at these steps that it was said that Columbus was welcomed back after discovering the New World. Another famous figure that spent time here was Picasso. And one of Picasso's most famous paintings is Mademoiselles d'Avignon. What many people don't know is that the women were not actually from Avignon. They were modeled after prostitutes here on Carrère d'Avignon. Of course, now there's fewer prostitutes and more American apparels. No other figure in Barcelona's history left as big a mark on the city as did Antoni Gaudi, the famous modernist architect, who, I might add, strikes an uncanny resemblance to Nobel Prize-winning economist and New York Times columnist Paul Krugman. Here in Plaza Real, right off of Las Ramblas, you can see two of Gaudi's first commissioned works for the city of Barcelona, two lampposts. He would go on to design the city's most famous buildings, including Güell Palace, Casa Mia, said to inspire the mask for Darth Vader, Casa Batillo, a house known for having no straight lines anywhere in its design, and the icon of Barcelona, Sagrada Familia, the unfinished cathedral scheduled for completion sometime in the next, 30 to 50 years. Parc Güell is probably Gaudi's most fantastical creation to date. Commissioned in 1900, the park was initially intended to be home to a new wealthy neighborhood, but it was a commercial failure, and by 1914 the project was abandoned. What remains today is a mishmash of Gaudi works, including the trippy Doric temple, containing 88 stone columns inside and a forest-inspired gallery with tree-like columns outside. Above is a giant plaza surrounded by a famous mosaic bench. Make your way through the crowd of tourists, or plow through them like I did, for the most iconic view of the city. One thing to remember is the Gaudi architecture at the base of the park is not the whole of the park. In fact, the most visited portions of the site are just a small fraction of the park. Keep heading uphill through the windy paths and stone staircases to see the rest. But for the best view, head up the last hill in the park where, conveniently, my battery died. If I wasn't making this video, I totally wouldn't be doing this. But it was a good view though. But I did make it, and here are the photos to prove it.
Sweep out our shame, and in its place we'll make a gallows, a splendid carriage bed, fragrant with flowers.
Now, Barcelona isn't exactly a cheap city, so here's a cost-saving tip for you that I found out. If you're looking to save a little money on sleeping, there's an abandoned train station. I mean, nobody uses it, it's pretty warm when it's nice outside. Overlooking the city from the southeast is Mount Juiy, a mountain that towers over Barcelona. From here you can look down upon the city, as well as some of Barcelona's 3 miles of beaches. Refurbished in 1992, these artificial beaches attract over 7 million people a year. Keep walking and you'll run into the Olympic Stadium, home to the famed 1992 Olympic Games. Brings back fond memories of my Olympic weightlifting days. Along the way you can grab a jamón sandwich and try to eat it on camera like a good travel host. Jamón, a dry cured ham from Spain, is offered all over the city, but your best deal is to buy it in sandwich form from a street vendor for €1 or 2. Then visit the Museo Nacional de Arte de Catalonia. Built in 1929 for the World Exhibition, this neo-Baroque building looks over Plaza de España and is a great place for even more free live music. All this money I'm saving on entertainment is going into my budget for jamón. It doesn't take much time to see why people rave about Barcelona. Great food? Check. People who enjoy life and aren't afraid to show it? Check. Samba fusion street performers playing under a palm tree while the sun sets? Check. Key ingredients for any great city.